St. Louis. Got off the plane, got my rental car, and drove straight here to Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in St. Louis. I really wanted to come here while I was visiting because this national cemetery is wildly different than the one that we are close to back home, Fort Custer National Cemetery. And it's because of the headstone styles that they have here. It's just, you know, in our cemetery, it's very park-like, and it's all the flat stones. I'm gonna park here for just a minute and get out so you can see what I am talking about and kind of how impressive this is to see. So let me turn the camera. So it's more what I guess you would picture a national cemetery with the upright white stones. And they're just, hi babe. Josh is watching. So Josh is down here at this cemetery for training with the team down here back in June. And it is just crazy to look at this. I think because with the upright stones, you truly see the quantity of graves, where when it is the flat stones, you don't see the quantity of how many people are truly buried here. Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming, I am going to say, seeing all of them. So I'm gonna just drive around the cemetery a little bit, just to show you. It is just rows upon hundreds of rows. Can you guys see those fields way back? Way back there? Like, I don't know how many acres this one is. I'm gonna have to look all of that kind of stuff up. I looked up nothing, guys. Literally got off a plane. It took almost 2 hours to get the rental car, which God bless them. I got it. And then driving through the city, I stopped at first. There is a cemetery called Washington Park Cemetery, and here in St. Louis, and I learned about it on my last trip. It is a cemetery that you can see from like the airport. It's next to the airport, and it's part of it was moved. I have to do all the history and research on it to finish out that video, but I wanted to find this cemetery, and so I did, where I believe the story is they moved all the graves, but they didn't move all the headstones. So there was piles of headstones, but you guys are gonna have to put up with this ding dong, yeah, I'll buckle it when I get out behind me. But I'm out in these woods looking at all these headstones and these coyotes. Come out. If you've never been around coyotes, they're fine if there's one. When there's several, that's why they work in packs. They were scrappy city coyotes too, so they looked really hungry. Thank you, my honey. So Josh says it's 338 acres in this cemetery. But so that other cemetery, so I did some videoing there. There'll be a video about that cemetery soon. But yeah, so I've been chased by coyotes, saw some serious road rage on the highway. Like, I thought these dudes were gonna start fighting each other. Thankfully they did not. But yeah, crazy so far. And then here I am. So I'm gonna give you guys a 360 of where I'm standing right now and what you can see. what I think is gorgeous is when you look at those rolling hills way back there and see the stones going up, but they're just everywhere. Here's my rental car. And then here up through the front, all the way up, it's just pretty awe-inspiring. And then you see, so some of the stones have names on the back, some don't. Why? Here, let me show you. So we've got Mary Eileen is the wife of Claude. So for these stones, they don't put both names on the front, they add the spouse's name to the back. So the ones that are empty, like these, do not have a spouse buried with them yet, if they ever are going to. I mean, a lot of these names that I'm reading on the back side are female, because many veteran were male. And yes, they could be male veteran with a male spouse or female veteran with a female spouse, but they are stacked. So these are going to be double depth graves like they are back. And Josh, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, since you came into training here, but they're double depth. So the first person that dies goes on the bottom, next person goes on top. And there is a divider piece in between them. I literally have no idea where I'm driving in here. I'm just driving along. We're gonna buckle this seatbelt so it stops dinging at me. People are gonna think I'm crazy. There we go. Because so it looks like there's shelters. So back at our cemetery at Fort Custer, there's shelters. There's little areas where you go have the services. You don't actually go to the grave space. So we can go check out one of those shelters. Actually, I might just park up over here. There's a map and we can check out the map, see if there's anything you guys want me to go see. And I'll show you one of the little shelters. I feel like I'm in a whirlwind. So let's see, here is the map. So we are the star right here. So we have seen this much of the cemetery. There is all of that, and then all of that over there. Holy crap is what we're gonna say. That is big. That is unbelievable how big this is. What I love on here is they have a QR code that you can scan. If you're looking for a grave and you're out here and you don't quite know where you're going, you can scan it, easily pull it up and find these graves. Maybe one day Memory Anchor will be connected to this cemetery too. Watch my videos on Memory Anchor. And yeah, that would be awesome if they got connected to this cemetery, and then you could come out and pull up and see the stories about all the veterans that are here as you were walking around. So there's benches throughout. What I loved is across the street, when I was coming in, there is a funeral area. I can't remember the exact name they had for it, but it's more like a park where it has like a pavilion. There's different areas with picnic tables. So you could come have a service here, and then you could go have like a little gathering over there. So, I don't know that it's gonna stay up. We'll put it down on one of those. That might help. But I thought that was cool that they have kind of an answer to that gathering need right across the street. So that was cool. So here is one of the shelters. It's really pretty. So you would pull up here with your service. And then they will help you bring the casket or urn up to this shelter. This is so pretty. Look how pretty this space is. Yes, the veteran's not on top. Whoever dies first goes on the bottom. You would not disinter that person by pulling them above ground. So here is the shelter. Beautiful space to gather, to have your service, and then they would take the individual out for burial. And while you're sitting here, you're staring out across all of this. So I see some regular stones off in the distance there. So we'll drive out over there and see if we can find those. Most of the new sections are double depth. Some of the old sections are single grave. The veteran is not always on top. It depends who dies first. Sorry if I'm super shaky walking, you guys. This is so crazy to be here. I feel like I've been on a whirlwind. We were in Vegas last week for the National Funeral Directors Convention. And then this week I'm here in St. Louis for some events. Tomorrow is a meet and greet at Bellefontaine. We're doing a walking tour. You do need to RSVP to it if you are in the area and would love to come to that. Tomorrow night at 4 o'clock. Give me a shout out on email, Kari at KariTheMortician.com, and you can come join us. I am not leading the tour. I am touring with you guys to learn about Bellefontaine Cemetery, which is crazy cool. So I can't wait to learn, and I'll go live during some of that tour as well, so you can see what we are checking out there. But let's drive over and see some of the older, what looks like the older section with some of the non-government headstones. Seeing how to a lot of traffic in here, I'm surprised, but typically, like, our national cemetery closes at 4:30 from the employees and everybody there. You can still get into it and see. Oh, so this is the cool part that Josh told me about. So we're stopping right here. So if you want to see what a cemetery looks like underground as they're laying it out, here we go. This is a crypt field. At least that's what I'm going to call it. These are all vaults. You see the number. Well, they're grave liners. People argue that there's a difference. So these are grave liners. Each of these will contain 1 to 2 people when they die. I'm going to show you the side view up here is a little easier. That is what is under the ground containing the 2 caskets. These are all empty. This will be a new area that opens up to start burying veterans. When a veteran is buried, they are buried in sequential order of when they arrive at the cemetery for their services. You do not get to go by other family unless it's your spouse, because they all just go in order. So let's say today's Tuesday, we're going to bury in number 1512, 1513, 1514, 1515, 1516. All straight up in order. There. There's more there you can see. But this crypt field gives you a whole, it's like the skeleton of the cemetery to me. It's what you don't see, it is what is underground. That new area will have room for 8,500 people. That is wild. Josh, I should have had you in my live video with me because I can do that now. I don't know if I can add you after the fact so you can like be on camera with me and stuff. I'll have to do that next time I do one of this. That is wild, guys. So, a crypt field. I've never seen one that size. I've seen some smaller spaced ones like that. I've never seen one that big. That's amazing. That is amazing. Josh told me about it from when he was here in June and looking at it, and that's just wild. I'm gonna have to drive back here after the live to do a 2-minute on crypt fields, because that's just crazy train. Crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to decide where to drive to out here to show you guys. It's like literally just row after row. And you're doing a good job, my friend. Josh the boat guy, who now works at Fort Custer National Cemetery and is proudly, well, I am proud to be his girlfriend. Yeah, you guys are gonna get like motion sickness probably. I should probably do it out this way. Oh, but it'll probably be easier. So I'm trying to get to that. Okay, trying to get to that section over there. Hold on. I'm gonna make you guys all throw up if I keep doing that. There are these stone walls around everywhere, which is beautiful. You can see these gorgeous old, it's easier if I do this, up over, and I don't know if I can, up over the peak there are these beautiful old houses. You know, whenever I'm driving around cemeteries, if I see people standing out at graves and they're having a moment, like, my instinct is to want to go hug them. But I know they're having a private moment and they don't need my hug right now. I mean, maybe they do. But that is something that's hard for me. I'm just such a, I don't know, I just want to go hug people when I see them standing out at the cemetery. I just don't do that. I'm not a stand at the cemetery person, and the emotions they have to be feeling standing there, I don't know. It's an empath. I'm empath to want to go hug them, and I don't know. All right, I'm gonna walk up to the Columbarium here. So these are columbariums, and I mean, how much prettier could this be like this? That this is all down in this. Let me turn. And I'm all zoned in. This whole like little bowl, and this is columbariums. So all of these little buildings are all niches for 1 to 2 sets of cremated remains on both sides here. What I like about these is they're not too tall. The ones at Fort Custer seem like they're taller to me. And these have the white stone, just like the marble, like the uprights are. It is very humbling being here. Very, very humbling. You know, I watched a little thing the other day. I don't know if it was on TikTok or what it was on, and how beautiful. This is so pretty right out here. But this gentleman was a veteran, and he said, you know, going up and saying thank you for your service to someone, he said it just seems trite. And he said, I get it. He said, but what is really honoring to me and maybe my service is saying thank you for my freedom. And that just kind of hit home with me. I don't know why. I think just because I've always not liked the phrase thank you for your service, for I don't know why. So that resonated with me, that thank you for my freedom was pretty, I like that. All right, my goal is to find where those headstones are. This is just mind-blowing out here. It's just so crazy cool. I'm gonna keep you guys with me until I find those headstones up there. I just have to find the right road to get up there, because there's so many. I love there's a lot of benches around. There is some trees and things. My grandparents are buried at Fort Snelling in Minnesota, and this is how the cemetery is there. But I don't remember there really being much in terms of trees even and things. Driving past the crypt field again. It's just so cool to be able to see that. That is so cool. Unbelievably cool. All right, gal darn it. We're gonna figure this out. I am on a mission. I'm probably not gonna be able to get back to the crypt field if I find those other stones. There's actually a lot of traffic in here right now. A lot of traffic. Okay, if I go down this one, do we think I can get, well, there's a lot of people coming out. I'm wondering if they had a burial or something. I always look to see if the people are all dressed up. That tells me if they kind of came from a service maybe, or maybe they were all out visiting somebody's grave specifically together. No large vehicles or buses allowed. Am I a large vehicle? Can I drive out there? It looks like there's a big statue that you can kind of drive up to. We're on First Drive South. All the streets are named, I'm sure, for different things. Oh, here we go. So I'm guessing these are barracks. Flowers are allowed. They have little flower containers that you can place flowers in by the grave, but they're going to be removed pretty quickly as they die and such. And so not a lot of people come out to, you know, put flowers on graves all the time. I feel like that trend is kind of going to the wayside some, which is sad, but it does seem to be that's kind of some of the case. All right, here's the problem, is this seems like only one car can be here at a time. And I hate to be that one that's a plug in the hole, but I'm gonna just leave my car here for a minute. All right, now we can do, ooh, there's a bunch of water there. I don't know where that is. There's like a lake out here you can see. Now you can see across over there. And just look. So there's some headstones there. Those are the ones I was kind of getting to. But I wanted to stop up here. We've got these, what are these called? Turrets? No. Cannons, upright cannons. Thank you, Lisa. Yep, that's back home. The flowers last for maybe a night because the deer all come in and they eat everything. Guys, look at this. This is, we didn't even go to one whole back section. This is wild. Just kind of come up here. We've got some, these are some of these old ones that are here that are 1918. Oh wow, that's wild. Well, I'm waving at you and Mary. Hi. This was what I saw up here on the hill. So erected by the state of Minnesota in memory of her soldiers here buried who lost their lives in the service of the United States in the war for the preservation of the Union, 1861 to 1865. So there are a few different things that you can see from here. I mean, way off in the distance. There's, I can't tell if that's like a quarry of some kind or not. I would love to go to the National Cemetery in San Diego that overlooks the ocean. I think that would just be stunning. Yeah, this is pretty amazing if you have never been. And here are the Columbariums from this side, looking down at them. That is wild. Wild, wild. Yeah, so here's a bunch about the cemetery. Jefferson Barracks established by the U.S. in 1826. The barracks served as a hospital. 18,000 Union soldiers passed through that hospital. With the hospital came the need for a cemetery. The Jefferson Barrack Post Burial Grounds has been in use since August 1827. More than 600 soldiers and civilians had been buried there. The National Cemetery, established in 1866, was expanded beyond the Post Cemetery. In 1869, it contained more than 10,000 graves. 1,106 Confederate prisoners of war are here. Yeah, wow. I would guess possibly they said there are civilians. Maybe some of these are some of the civilians. I don't know for sure. We're gonna all have to go Google and do a little educational research. So in like, and tell me if I'm wrong, Josh, if you're still on. I mean, at Fort Custer, you can't put in privately purchased headstones. Like, that's just not a thing. It all needs to be uniform, and that's part of the National Cemetery look, is it's all uniform. But those are from very far back, so I would guess that maybe back then they were allowed, whereas now maybe they're not. So maybe the rules have changed. So look at this main mast flag area right there. That's pretty, gosh, it's just super impressive. Super impressive. I didn't figure I'd get this blown away, I think, by this place. So that's pretty awesome. Josh got to come like train here and be here for a week, learning things and everything. Thank you, Widow Prepper. And it is warm down here compared to Michigan. Michigan, we're in full fall mode with hoodies and jeans, and down here it is toasty. toasty toasty. So let's see, which way am I gonna go? Oh my gosh, there's so much to the cemetery. I just could be here for hours, it feels like, and I probably could. So I encourage you guys to come check this place out if you never have. This is amazing down here. Yeah, 1865, so I'm guessing this is some of the original section here. The stones, I'm gonna switch ya. The stones are the older style. Many of them are very worn and weathered that you can't make out names on them. Some of them you still can, but there's a lot you can't. This one's kind of crazy cool. This that says refugee on it. That's wow. You wonder refugee from what? Like, what is that person's story? Where did they come from? Why did they come here? What were they fleeing? Was it just coming from the north to the south? I mean, would you call that a refugee back in the day? Or, yeah, I just don't even know. This is unbelievable. So, we've learned about double depth graves. We've learned about a crypt field. We're getting our education today here at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in St. Louis. So again, here's two privately purchased from 1921, 1926. They do say that they are military. They just are private purchased back when you could do that. In this section, we're into like the 1950s, 60s burials. 1952, most of those. I mean, that's what you're gonna find is the first person that has died, and as you go down a row, they're all gonna share very common death dates because you buried right in a row. So unlike a public cemetery or a city cemetery, they're going to be dates all over the place. Where here it's going to be all sequential, which is pretty wild. I'm just going to keep saying I'm blown away. This is just huge. I'm going to drive up to the other side. If you guys want me to keep driving and want to stick with me here, give me a thumbs up if you guys want me to keep going and head to the other side of the cemetery to show you the big hill of stones. So hit me with some thumbs up. I was gonna sing, like, what is that, Benatar? Hit me with some thumbs up, fire away. Or hit me with thumbs up to make me stop singing. I'll have to come back and I'll do some 2 minutes on double depth graves and crypt fields. I do love that there's benches, or lots of benches around, so you can come and sit. It is very park-like, even though it's not the flat like we have back home, not the one that's near us. So we'll go down here and turn the corner up to the one hill while we keep chatting, because I think that is something we need to see, is the quantity of this place. So let me turn you while we're driving. Oop. Gotta drive straight if I'm gonna do this. I am completely zoomed out. I think that one that I found was the oldest section that I was just showing. I'm pretty sure that's the original up in the middle of that old area. Those stones that we can't really read anymore. I think that's the oldest part. Gosh dang. It goes on and on and on. over through those trees. Can you see? That's another section of, huge section of the cemetery. That's wild. Holy Moses. And I'm trying not to curse because that's not needed, but I mean, like, look at this. This is just, look, 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 look. Woo-hoo-hoo. Shh, we're gonna be quiet. Watch this. You guys see him? You guys see him? Look at him. I could sit here and look at this little baby deer all day long. And it is its little baby. Oh, oh, where'd it go? There it is. How cute is that? Okay, we'll continue on. Oh wow, so the first burial here was in 1827 and it was the infant daughter. Yeah, if we drive like that, you guys are gonna get silly sick. Okay, Pete. Wow, guys, are you ready for this? So we turn this corner up here. First of all, look out over there. Oh my goodness. And then up over here. Holy Jiminy. Every single stone represents someone who served our country. Every race, every religion, all here together. The same end, the same honor. This is just amazing. Like, look at that. That's a pretty powerful shot. I'm not gonna lie. So, whew. All right, well, oh boy. I'm gonna try and turn around here to head back to the beginning. Oh, there's more deer off in the distance. The deer know, it's like their time clocks go off and they know that people are gonna leave and we can come out. Because they know when all the workers leave and it gets quiet and it's safe to come out. And there is some massive amounts of birds in these trees too. I don't know what all these birds are, but oh, they are loud. I don't know if you guys can hear them. Listen. You can probably hear a lot of traffic because we're right by the highway, I think, there, but these birds are crazy loud too. It's pretty wild. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for this. I don't get speechless often, do I? Not really. I'm windblown, let's say that. I'm starving, we'll say that too. But I don't get speechless very often, and I am quite speechless at this National Cemetery. So how about next up is Arlington, right? We need to, are we supposed to look at her face like this? Thank you, Just the Tiff. Refugee could mean a slave or somebody during the Civil War. I'm zoomed way in. On my screen, I am normal. Let me see if, I don't know why it's zoomed way in. That's weird. Let's see. Am I normal now? Because I am normal to me, so I don't know how to make it any less zoomed since it's normal. So, nope. It's not zoomed, or it is. I don't know what nope means. Nose and lips. All right, we'll do this. If it's gonna be a pain in the booty. How's that? How's that? I got you out on my steering. Maybe it's locked up or something. I don't know what's going on. Not good. Not good. How about we just do this? Do you guys see the cemetery now? No. All right. We'll close it out here because obviously my phone has had enough. It's had enough. Thank you guys for joining me here at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in St. Louis. Oh, more deer. If you guys have a normal view, thank you. Thank you. There's deer all over. Look at this. Now the deer have come out. Do you guys see the deer? Or is this all for nothing? Oh my gosh, there's so many deer now. And they're so tame. Thank you guys for joining me. Ooh, and there's a buck. Very cool. Hi, babies. Hello. Hi. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. And tomorrow evening, I will go live from Bellefontaine Cemetery during a walking tour meet and greet. So watch for more here in St. Louis. Bye, everyone.